Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. What does a businessman,
an entrepreneur,
and a Marine veteran
have to say about what's going on in the world today? Join us and find out.
In 3, 2,
kick it! Hey, welcome to Hardheaded. This is Chet. As always, with me is Matt, Amos, and Troy Trussell. We got a great show for you, episode 164. Troy's going to tell us what's on his mind. We're going to talk about our top 3 red flags while looking for a church home. Really excited about this. Some of you may have in your New Year's goals, resolutions, or whatever to find a church home, and we will give you some things to look out for that are red flags. Matt probably will have some snide comments about me during that, because when we brought up the subject, he was like, number 1, Chet goes there, red flag. And then after that, Matt's going to give us a good word. So, Troy, what's on your mind?
Well, we are well into January of 2024. Just by show of hands, who has written 2023 on something where you should have written 24?
No? I'm a big fan of writing the number 4, so I've been looking for this for a long time.
Oh, what is it about the number 4 that?
What number do you like to write?
It's easier to write than 3.
I like the 8.
You like writing 8? I like 4, so I'm just like,
because there's 2 ways you could do it. You can do like the infinity or like the snowman.
There's a bunch of ways you can do a 4.
It's true.
Yeah, I do the infinity on the 8.
Oh, it just I go back and forth. It depends on my mood.
On the 4?
So I will say today I had somebody come through that was filling out some paperwork, and she was filling out the date for today, and she wrote 1924.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
now she was born in 1932, so
yeah.
She wrote 19 many years. So yeah.
She goes, well, I wrote my birthday, and then I just kept going with the 19s.
That's why I like the 4.
Oh,
you like that?
Yeah,
look pretty good.
It's like a little flag wave.
Yeah,
there. Interesting. All right. Well, anyway,
looks like a devil's pitchfork. Way to go, red flag.
So what's been on my mind is kind of the year, right? New Year's resolutions. I know a lot of people do that. I don't really do New Year's resolutions because I've tried it in the past.
Yeah.
They don't really stick. So, but what I have done last year, I did a word. I picked a word. Excuse me, and the word was positive. It was kind of like the year before that. Matt was like, I'm getting off social media. I'm going to be positive about life.
Yeah.
Well, I got positive last year, and it worked out.
And you're done with that?
No, I'm going to keep
We're on to new things.
I'm going to keep it in play. Matt's done with it, I think.
He was done with that. That was 2022.
Right.
When he was on a positive kick. And he gave that up last year. It was evident.
Right. So now.
What are you doing?
Like, I'm keeping positive.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a really good word. I'm going to go with gratitude this year.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic Beastie Boys song.
I don't know that one.
Called Gratitude. But no, just being thankful for things in my life. Like, I think on a previous podcast, we talked about looking back and seeing where God has brought you.
Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, their most recent album that came out.
It's called Gratitude?
He has a song called Gratitude. I'll share it with you after the show.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, but just looking back and seeing where God has taken you through good times and bad, and just being thankful for those times.
Yeah.
And just being thankful to others when they do nice things for you. You know? I mean, gratitude... A lot of times that we forget, especially in business, we forget to say thank you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I really want to try to do to support my clients and people helping me out in different networking things. Just remember to say thank you. And
so to remind you of a conversation that we had immediately before we started recording, you said something along the lines of people suck. So when
play that clip for us.
So when people are not sucking,
yeah,
like the expectation that you have on people is, yeah, they're probably going to let me down or not follow through or be an idiot.
Well, that's
and you're coming across with somebody that's not. You're like, man, I'm so thankful you're normal. Like, this is great.
Well, I mean, we all know that a lot of people do bad things and people suck.
Yeah.
In that regard. But for the most part, I mean, I think people are trying to do the right thing. for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's selfishness and depravity in all of us,
Right.
and that comes out more often than not. But in a social setting, I feel like most people are either just trying to get along or they're trying to do
Yeah.
the right thing in a social setting.
I've become amused with people that used to do things that upset me. Now it just amuses me. When I was driving over here, I pulled in front of someone on a 40-mile-an-hour road, and it doesn't take me long to get to 40 miles an hour.
Right.
That was going apparently like 60. And we were an eighth of a mile from a traffic light. So you're going to have to get on the brakes anyway there, partner. But was just this hands in the, looked like that Costanza, when he got Coco the
wacky,
monkey. He's
wacky inflatable arm filling tube man.
And before, that would have made me mad. Like, quit being an idiot. I hate you. Like, why do you have to act like that? There were, it's the leaving work. There was just hundreds of cars trying to pull out. And this guy's like flying down the road. But I was like, man, that's kind of funny because he's still giving his hand. He never flipped me the bird or anything, but just like, the hands everywhere. And I'm like, man, that's funny. It doesn't even hurt my feelings that you're mad because you're just being silly right now.
Yeah, the older I get, the more I get amused by those things as well. So
more power to you both. Of course, you all are both older than me. So maybe in the next year, when I catch up to Troy,
wait,
some of that's
you're older than he is. I always thought he was older than you.
No, I'm older by a year. I think
it's a year.
Oh gosh,
how old are you now?
No wonder you're so immature.
You're 44. Yeah, I'm 43.
Yeah,
I'll be 45 in a week or two.
So you got 2 years on because I just turned 43.
I missed. That wasn't 43.
Were you born in 81?
33.
80? I was born in 79. So.
70s.
So sorry.
I remember 79.
80 started the millennials, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Dude.
Hey, millennial.
Who even invited you to be on this podcast? You're losing so much credibility.
I'm on that bubble, the bubble year.
I'm grateful that we're able to cross generations.
Yes.
Whippersnapper.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, so a couple other things that I'm doing for the new year. I cut down caffeine consumption because I heard that and you might like this too, Matt, it can raise your blood pressure. It can give you high blood pressure if you consume mass amounts of caffeine, and I was consuming quite a bit.
Through coffee? Through what?
Coffee mostly and tea.
Okay.
I like to drink tea. So my whole family got sick over Christmas. And just through that whole sickness, it was like 10 days. My wife and I just quit brewing coffee in the morning because it just didn't want it, And so we started drinking hot tea. Like you.
Yeah. I only do it in the afternoon, though.
So we started trying that in the morning.
You got a head shake this time.
And so my wife, her grandmother is actually British.
Yeah.
Or was.
You got some crumpets too?
No, I think we should though. So she grew up, her mom would make hot tea in the morning and put a little milk and a little sugar in it.
Yeah.
And so she was kind of used to that as a child. And so she brought that back. Some of the kids enjoy it now.
Tea has caffeine in it.
Right. But I only drink one small little cup in the morning.
Okay. They have decaffeinated coffee and decaffeinated tea.
And we have bought both.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, so that's another thing I'm doing. I'm also going to try out Orange Theory. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
I cannot work out on my own. It doesn't work. I can't do it. I can't hold
with that attitude, you never will be able to.
No, I know. But I've tried many years.
You've defeated before you've started.
That's right.
So I need somebody to whip me into shape. I'm going to check that out. I'll report back after my first session there and let you know how it goes.
Just 'cause, yeah.
I might never go back there either.
As I doubt you will.
Who knows?
I would recommend CrossFit.
At 45 years old?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Starting at 45?
Steve, my prosthetist for those listening, is getting ready to turn 52. He was born in 72. Yeah, 52. And he literally goes to CrossFit every morning at like 5:30, something like that. Works out for an hour.
I can't do the morning.
And then, but they have classes every
hour.
So you can go in whenever, and just do the workout of the day.
Remember when we did that CrossFit?
I almost died.
Shit,
I almost died.
We did it for that TV show we were a part of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're just like, oh yeah, I couldn't walk. You talk about not being able to walk. I couldn't walk.
See, back in the Marines, I mean, that's how in Afghanistan, I mean, that's how it worked out was CrossFit because you really don't need a lot of weights.
Let me just tell you, we were going hiking in the wilderness of Colorado, the Holy Cross Wilderness, and we thought it would be fun. I don't know whose idea this was, because we had a sponsor at the time too that was the CrossFit place. Like they were advertising with us.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we could plug them, and I need to do some working out before we go backpacking in Colorado anyway. So the dude, Troy's like, I'll bring my camera, and then I'll go, and we're like, hey, dude, we'll do a few little things. And that guy, the owner of the place, decided we're going to see if we can kill this guy or not. And I couldn't walk. I remember the next morning. After my morning constitution, I'm like, I don't think I can get up. I am here. Like I'm here for a while. I don't think I could get up. I needed the bars. I needed something.
So I've been there
because it was not just hey, join us for a whatever they call it, a box or whatever they call it. It was, oh, we're gonna let them do their thing. I want you to do 500 squats. Like right now, and then like let's do medicine ball something or others, and then sprint and get on that row machine, and everybody's done and left, and there I am dying, and he's like, oh, let's go do this, and I was like, I can't do that. It was cold. It was not. Let's work up to dip the toe in the water. He's like, no, I'm gonna see if I can murder you right now.
Sounds about right.
It works.
So anyway,
and he's laughing, giggling. He's behind the camera doing that, and I get to the point.
Whole time.
I get to the point where it's like, this is not funny anymore. I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah, stop being fun.
Yes,
way back there, boys.
I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't even think I could go to Colorado right now because I can't walk.
But I will say that I've been there, and then that's where a handicap accessible home comes in handy because you got the rails.
Yes,
so you can help get yourself up. And not use your legs because I've been there.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad. Yeah. Anyway, Orange Theory, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try it out. I'll report back. Hey, if I do good, maybe they'll sponsor the show.
No, they won't.
Well, that's all I got. Any of y'all got any New Year's things you're doing?
Yeah. I never make New Year's resolutions, but I made one this year.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
What is it?
Suck less.
I'm going by, look, it's got to be in the realm of possibility.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Going back, the bowl game season, right? So my son was in the marching band for K-State. They played and won the Pop-Tarts Bowl. And there's a whole lot of just Pop-Tart everything going on around the Pop-Tarts Bowl. They had an edible mascot. There's a big whole thing about it. And I realized that I'm not a big Pop-Tart guy.
Cookies and cream. Love it.
I realized I had never, ever put a Pop-Tart in a toaster.
What?
Never.
That's the only way to eat a
I've
Pop-Tart.
never done it.
You are crazy.
I've never done it. So my New Year's resolution, and I've yet to get around to it, is I'm going to toast a Pop-Tart.
So, it's going to change your life.
No, I don't think it will.
It will.
There's the barren Sahara Desert of the corner of a Pop-Tart
is even better.
Putting that in a toaster is not going to help that.
Yes, it is.
It's horrible.
No, toaster strudels are better.
No, they're not.
I have had toaster strudels.
No,
out of a toaster, they're delicious.
No, you're stupid. No,
but you have to have those are frozen, right? Toaster strudels are frozen.
Yeah, they are frozen.
I've only eaten Pop-Tarts as a snack to carry on the go.
Right? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've had
them in a toaster.
If I'm at home, I'm gonna like cook an egg or something.
It's not going to change your life, I promise.
I don't. But I'm a strawberry on strawberry guy.
I'm going to tell you.
The cookies and cream does not appeal to me at all.
It's getting ready to
strawberry filling, strawberry icing.
Yeah, the pink ones with the sprinkles.
Yeah,
I know you like the sprinkles. Yeah. I'm a Pop-Tart aficionado from like way back in the day.
Do you break them in half and eat the middle first?
No,
because I would just throw the corners away.
I start in the corner.
Nah, that's gross. You gotta have something to drink. That's chalky.
No, not when you toast it.
Okay,
it gets a little crunchy, and it's got a nice little crunch to it.
On my dial of my toaster, halfway?
Yeah, I mean, I'd go half.
Is that going to melt all that stuff and go down in my toaster?
No, it's not. I don't even know if it's actually real food that would melt. I think it's... But, so when I go hunting in my deer blind, I've got my little Mr. Buddy heater. When I because I'll bring Pop-Tarts as snacks to the blind.
Yeah.
I'll put my 2 Pop-Tarts on top of the heater and let it heat it up and toast it, and then I'll just eat them as I'm... And that goes against scent control again, like we talked about before. Like
deer don't care.
Brown sugar and cinnamon, cookies and cream. Who cares?
Oh, I like that brown sugar cinnamon one.
It's way better warm. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that because it gets really soft and gooey.
Well, I do think they are better out of the toaster, but I'll eat them either way.
Yeah, I've never had one. That's my New Year's resolution. I'm going to do that.
That's great. Why don't we do it on the show?
I don't want to bring a toaster. Like that's a lot of work.
Oh my God!
He brought coffee.
The reason I haven't done it yet because I didn't want to go to the store to buy a Pop-Tart.
He brought coffee that went through a cat, Chet.
Not only did it go through a
toaster
cat, I brought a thing to boil water to the exact temperature.
You did.
I brought a carafe.
Yes, you did fantastically. Are you going to bring a toaster
all that
now?
back? Did you send it all back to Amazon?
And so I was like, I'm going to go. I'm not going to send it back because I used it, right?
Oh, okay.
But I was like, I'll sell it. And so I told my wife because it was sitting on the counter, and I was like, well, I'm probably just going to list this on Marketplace. And she goes, well, Lily's 18. She might be going off to school or, doing something. She could probably use that stuff. And I'm like,
yeah.
Well, now I'm keeping it.
Now I'm out all that money.
Yep. Now I'm out all that money. But whatever.
Do you have any resolutions or words of the year?
No, not really. No.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right.
I basically took care of major resolutions last year about the middle of the year. Quit dipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started cutting back on sugar and all that already anyway.
Right.
I really don't do much caffeine because the only soda that I really drink is root beer, which is caffeine free.
Yeah.
I got my 1 coffee in the morning, and that's really all the caffeine that I get.
Yeah.
So, except for today, I did bring a cup of coffee with me because just felt like coffee weather.
It's coffee weather.
So,
no doubt about it. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, top 3 red flags while looking for a church home.
At Admiral's Pennant, our mission is to offer the latest and refined, high-quality masculine products and services to the modern gentleman, as well as provide him with the tools and products necessary to look, act, and feel confident in his appearance and social interactions. Check it out at admiralspennant.com. Without it, you might as well shave.
And we're back. So,
nice.
Top 3.
Oh, red flags while you're looking for a church home.
Top 3 red flags while looking for a church home.
Why don't I go first?
Matt, you should go first.
I think I will.
Yeah.
Number 3. You walk in, sit down, and then all of a sudden the production starts.
What do you mean production?
Huge production, lights, smoke, and it's like, it's more of a concert than it is going to church and worshiping God. It's going to church and, oh, look, we've got a band. Let's celebrate the band. I'm a very charismatic preacher, and I'm going to get up here and, it's about me. It's about the band. It's about what we're doing, not about what God's doing.
The one of the first Babylon Bee headlines that caught my attention, 5-6 years ago, however long they've been around, was something along the lines of the fog machine malfunctioned and the smoke was too thick for the Holy Spirit to move this morning.
That's good.
That cracked me up.
So, yeah, smoke was so thick we couldn't see the Holy Spirit.
So if there's a fog machine, red flag.
Yeah, fog machine, I mean, lights that, are like...
Yeah, dancing lights. And
like you're at the old discotheque,
Yeah.
Staying alive
there's
with Jesus.
There's a disco ball,
Okay.
They're using words like sus and mid,
Oh, that's a great meme thing there.
Number 2, attitudes. You can tell a lot just by walking in and how people greet you. And, again, everybody has an off day too, but I've been to some places where it just kind of, you don't get that warm fuzzy, and so, I mean, that would be a red flag for me. Like, why am I going to go somewhere where I don't feel welcome? And then number 1 is they preach prosperity. You're
do good and you will be blessed.
Yeah, I mean, any of that. I mean, because we're not promised any of that. So,
right.
Or if they're selling, what is it? Not holy water, but they're selling miracle spring water, at the door, and it's going to cure what ails you. And
the band has a T-shirt.
I'm not come across
shop.
You haven't come across that?
No.
It's more of the TV pastors that do that type of stuff. But that's basically what I'm saying. Is just that they preach prosperity. If you pull up in the parking lot and you see the, or you're leaving the service, and you've seen the pastor, and then he hops into like a McLaren.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, just in general, because a lot of times, not that the prosperity is a fine line, but when you get people that are like, so many good things are going to happen to you, genuinely, as a Christ follower, but your view of what good is should be different than what the view of what the world thinks good is.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a secular view of good.
But if all of it is positive, and then you look at Jesus, take up your cross daily and follow me, and if you want to be first, you're going to be last. So there's a. I mean,
if you're
out of balance with that message,
and God called us to be, disciples and spread the word. Look what happened to all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not, hey,
right.
Everything's going to be gravy, man. You might end up upside down on a cross. Who knows?
Right. All right.
Yeah.
That's 3 good ones. I'll go next. Number 3, manufactured greeters. I don't mind. Well, it's not about mine. Red flag. If there are specific roles in the greeting committee to greet you in the parking lot, and somebody else greets you at the front door, and somebody else greets you in the lobby, and somebody else greets you when you walk in the sanctuary, and nobody else says, hi, we're glad that you're here, then all of your greeting has been manufactured. And it kind of goes back to Matt, what you were saying, genuine joy that you were there as a guest by the average person in the congregation is a huge plus. And if all of the welcome here, I'm glad you're here, is because that's what they volunteered to do that day, and nobody else speaks to you, red flag. I'm not saying it's bad to have greeters. I'm just saying if that's the only people that say hi and we're glad you're here, that's a red flag.
Red flag.
Number 2, there's only one generation represented. So I truly believe, and this goes in all directions, I truly believe that the church is full of young and old and little kids and not little kids and middle-aged and seniors. And if you walk into a church and there's only young people, and there's no older people, I'd be careful. And you also, if you're a young person and you walk into a church and there's nothing but old people, red flag. And not to say that those people are out to get you or they're bad or they're not biblically following, but if you are going to a church and there's nobody else like you that's there, or there's only people like you that are there, then that's a flag in my opinion.
Multi-generational is
absolutely
always best.
Yeah. And multicultural to a certain extent, depending on what, part of town that you're in or what state you live in. And
Yeah, any multi is
Yes.
good.
And number one, if all of the preaching is done through stories, there's a lack of biblical preaching with conviction. Red flag. And typically you may want to give this one a few Sundays, a few sermons, because you just never know exactly what's going on any given Sunday that you show up. But if they're not going through the word in the sermon and they're talking about, let's go to talk about how this movie applies to Christianity or whatever.
Well, and I guess that's kind of what I mean by my number one as well.
The prosperity preaching.
Biblically based,
Yeah.
I guess is what I should have put there. But you put it in a better way.
There are people that are like, you need to sacrifice. And the Bible teaches that, right? Be sacrificial with your giving. But if it's all about you need to sacrifice your money to this church, like why is that? Why is that all of a sudden the only place you could be sacrificial? And just they're even if they're telling you things are going to be hard, but they need to be hard because what you're doing for us, you just got to be careful. That's a flag, in my opinion. And
Yeah, that's good.
pull out the
advice.
Bible. I'm a huge fan of expository exposition. Get into a passage of Scripture. Get into a book of the Bible, and not to say that you don't cross-reference, but we don't want to talk about. Let's pick a subject and talk about the subject and find 5 different verses that apply to that subject. It is more along the lines of, I'm going to preach what the Bible says with conviction, and let's do it as the Bible says it.
And keep it in context.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, that's my 3. Troy, what about you, man?
All right, number 3. Some of these are going to touch on a little bit of what y'all talked about. But you walk in, and the band just started playing Money by Pink Floyd. And the preacher's in a all white, really expensive tuxedo. And he's talking about do good and you will be blessed.
All right.
That would be a red flag.
That's a major flag.
Be blessed.
Number 2, the singles class is full of 70-year-old women. Get out while you can, boys. Get out of here.
Hey,
Red flag.
never mind.
Yes, I've never.
Got that one from my father-in-law.
Oh, okay. Now it makes more sense.
There you go. And number 1, the sermon series is titled Heil Hitler.
That's a joke.
Get out.
Or Heil Trump.
Oh! Now you're
Watch out.
Now you're touching on something there. That's a dangerous line there. Yeah, so that's my top 3. I went comedy because I was pretty sure y'all were going to touch on all 3 of mine, which you did. So
Yeah.
I
All right.
made it funny.
Okay.
I thought it was funny anyway.
Yep. Good for you, man.
Glad you did.
Yeah. So Matt, you got a good word for us?
I do. I don't know what it is. Worthless.
You calling me worthless, or is that the word?
That might be the word.
Okay.
Both.
But the good word today comes out of James 1:26, which says, if anyone considers himself religious and yet does not keep a tight rein on his tongue, he deceives himself and his religion is worthless. And so as we, again, I don't know, I beat a dead horse, but I'm pretty open about my tongue. And I've caught myself recently being a little bit more or less bridled with my tongue. So it was actually kind of funny as I was looking for the good word. I came across this. And so I think whenever I share good words, I think it's always aimed at me. So it's not like I'm trying to preach to anybody else, but it's just to myself. And because I've noticed some, not really anything terrible, but my kid's just saying some stuff that's off.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's starts with me, and so I've got to do better. If I slam my thumb in a door, I can't, I got to really just, grin and bear it, and not fly off the handle. which I did just recently. I was sitting in my recliner. It's not funny, but
but it's funny.
Did you slam your hand in the recliner?
No, I like put my chair back, and the way I've got it positioned, there's a corner of a wall right here. And so I was like trying to stretch, and I came back really hard like that. And I mean, I jammed that wall with my elbow, and I don't know why, but for some reason recently I've just had a real big issue with the point of my elbow being extremely sore, and I don't know what I did to it.
Yeah.
But I hit that point right on that wall. Boy, I went off to the point my daughter came out, Dad, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I just hit my elbow on the wall, but it's that example that I'm setting, I'm not, am I deceiving myself because I have such a hard time bridling my tongue? Right. So, the good word would be, I don't want to be worthless this year. I'm really going to try to work on it extremely hard.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Concerted?
Yes.
Focused effort. Instead of just saying it, really going to focus on it. So anyway,
I like it, man.
that's it.
Good word. Don't be worthless. Bridle
Don't be
that tongue.
worthless.
Talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.